Hello and welcome to Back to the Feature, the show we talk about movies past, present, and future. Today we are keeping it in the present and we are talking about Annabelle Creation. Now, Annabelle Creation is definitely not a movie that I was expecting to go see. I did not see the first Annabelle film and in general was not on board with the Conjuring cinematic universe spreading out too far. I think that the Conjuring movies are pretty good, especially when James Wan directs them, but I think that they're pretty good, and I think that they fit a need in horror movies for a more mainstream type horror. I think that it's horror for people that aren't like hardcore horror fans, you know, people that maybe really do get squeamish at something that really goes out there and maybe don't quite have the patience for something really psychological or paranoia. So I think that it really does fit a need in our movies. It's like blockbuster horror. And I think that in a way it facilitates a great need, and the Conjuring movies are pretty good at it. But
spin-offs?
The spin-offs, that's where I definitely get cut off, where I just really won't go see them.
I understand why they would want to do a spin-off. Annabelle, it's a creepy doll, and it's a great intro to the Conjuring film. I mean, some people would argue that's like the scariest part of the movie, is that opening scene, and I mean, dolls do that. But that first Annabelle movie, though, wasn't good. Wasn't good.
You did see it.
I saw the Annabelle movie, and it was really bad. It was atrocious. I will give it credit, though. There is one scene, that basement scene, you didn't see it, but there is one scene in the movie that is legitimately terrifying. Great horror. But that's it. It's like 5 minutes. Go watch it on YouTube. But I was kind of curious. This movie's come out. It's got good reviews. So
yeah, that definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah, and it's like it got a sequel. I feel like they're going to learn from their mistakes a little bit, at least, and try and make something a little more. Early
on, that's what the producers of this film kind of were saying, is that they felt like Annabelle was a much better idea than the movie that they ended up getting, and they really wanted to take another pass at trying to make a good Annabelle feature film. So it was really them making an effort to try to make this a much better film than that previous one and to right some wrongs.
You know, and like both times, too, I mean, I guess we're already, I don't want to jump too much into spoilers.
Mm-hmm. Light spoilers. We'll try to.
I don't know if this is light spoilers or not. I feel like they could have touched up a little bit more on how or why the demon was attached to the doll. Mm-hmm. I just feel like that's a more interesting movie, or would be. Like the scenario, you know.
I think one of my big issues with this film is some of the conceptual ideas, and it's one of those things that you're always going to poke a hole in it. Like the doll in general, like, right, we find out that the dad, right, who then ends up running this orphanage, he's the one who made the Annabelle doll. So did you purposely make a doll of a little girl, an old man dressed as a little girl dying of cholera? Because that's what Annabelle the doll looks like. Like, when he was like, oh, people want to order these dolls, like, why? Are they, like, using them for CPR for people who have cholera?
Oh, my God.
That's what the doll looks like. Seriously, no one would get, even, like, the weird dolls they used to have back then, that doll legitimately looks evil. Like, it looks purposefully evil. So, for me, it's really hard to believe that someone would make that with the intent of not having a demon in it.
Well, you gotta, right?
Like, you make that, you know a demon's jumping in it.
I think, let's cut there. One of the things I want to discuss, I think, like, touching on what I wish they would have went with the story, the story is pretty cliche. Like, and that's what I was expecting, something different from this, because it is pretty much just a trope-filled, typical blockbuster-style horror film. It just has all the same kind of beats. It has the same kind of jump scares. It has the same different tactics of putting fear into you. Yeah. I think there's definitely some good stuff happening in it, but it's just too inconsistent. And it's, like I said, we've seen this before.
Yeah, I think that's definitely it's echoing the exact feeling I had with this movie. It was a lot of things that I had seen before, and a lot of jumps and huge jumps in logic, I think, in the film, as far as like with some of the characters and like I said, with things like him making a purposely creepy doll. I mean, just some of the choices that they make are just such rote things that we've seen now that it comes off as being very unremarkable or just really unmemorable. Like, I don't have a lot of things that I'm like, oh yeah, that thing from Annabelle Creation, or oh, this thing from Annabelle Creation. There's maybe a couple shots or moments or little things or just the general feeling of, it was alright.
The scene where there's a transformation scene, I'll just say that. It could be anything, guys. It's not too spoilery. But if you have seen the movie, it's the darkness in the hallway.
Yeah.
Like you said, and you like see that like the eyes. That scene is that's awesome. Like I loved seeing that idea. Yes. It's filmed well. The scene carries a lot of atmosphere. Mm-hmm. There is some good atmosphere in this film. I will give some of that credit for it, but it just doesn't hold it.
Yeah, I think that, and this is kind of my problem with the movie, and maybe it's just from just my own standpoint here. Maybe not a lot of people will get this out of it, but I felt like when I was watching it, I was watching a film made by a director who was auditioning for a different film. Like, he was making this film to hopefully get more work, where there was just kind of some excessive shots that were more complicated than they needed to be. He did this one nice, long, one-take tracking shot through the orphanage that I thought that was a good way of doing that. And it made the movie have a little bit more class than what you would have seen. There was some other shots, though, that I felt like particularly were just unneeded. It wasn't saying anything with that shot. It was, hey, look at this really interesting way I could set the camera up. So, like I said, it felt more like this guy's doing this for his like demo reel to hopefully get a movie he really wants to.
It was kind of one of those shots where it's like, how did he get that? Mm-hmm. But it was pointless in the scene.
Exactly.
So I mean, he's definitely trying to replicate James Wan, but he just didn't have the same craft as Wan.
You have to do those things with purpose. There has to be a reason why you're doing that, why you're moving the camera that way. And there was really no purpose to some of the things that he did. But at the same time, though, technically very well filmed, I thought, overall.
Yeah.
The colors and shadows, he played really, really well with darkness and shadows. Definitely should get another chance with some other films, but like I said, definitely felt like it was his demo reel. So we talked about a little bit of the positives, we talked about a lot of negatives, John. What did you think about some of these young child actors? Were there any positives in that for you?
I think I really did enjoy the young actress playing the lead, the girl with the polio. I can't remember her name right now, but I thought she did a very serviceable job. She was impressive. I think she maybe fell apart a little bit in the third act.
They definitely
spoilery stuff.
They definitely ask her to do a lot of different things, and there's certain things that she doesn't do nearly as well as others. But yeah, she had a lot to do, which I think is impressive in its own right for an actress of her age. But definitely, maybe not quite the range that we would need for this film.
Because the story really does follow her.
Yes.
I mean, like, the majority of the movie
her
is...
and her friend, yeah.
Yeah, her...
Because it kind of trades off, I think, at a certain point. Like, it really does kind of... Then it switches a little bit to the other
little girl was pretty good, too. I thought she was... they didn't ask her to go too much past what the other one was, but she did a good job, too, in the film. I thought it was all pretty good. Like, it wasn't... Nothing was, like, noticeably bad.
Yeah, I thought that, like...
Annabelle, the first one, was bad acting. Mm-hmm. Bad acting all the way through.
I think there was a lot of serviceable things. I actually think that there was some bad acting. I mean, there's a pretty wide cast of these younger girls, and some of them are not very good. I think some of the other characters, like some of the older girls and their friends, there was definitely some stuff in there that was some, bad delivery or cheesy lines and stuff. It's definitely not a very well-written film in that way. And then actually, too, I don't know who plays the dad, but there's a scene where something happens to him where his reaction was like...
yeah, very... that should have hurt a lot worse.
Yeah, like, you should be reacting a lot more to that.
I thought that exact same thing when it happened.
So, there was some questionable things. There was some weird things, too, with, like, Miranda Otto's character as well that really didn't work for me, and, like... I don't think it's particularly a well-written movie. I think they really tried to get a better director, and I think that did work. But what's on the page, and then I think what the actors had to work with.
I think it was really it was serviceable for what they were doing, and safe enough that it's not like a train wreck like the last one.
Serviceable and safe. Those are some great keywords to
serviceable and safe, but I thought they did get pretty creative with the scares. I think they went a little above and beyond. I mean, it's what typical, I think, horror watchers want to see. A lot. That's what makes the money.
Yeah.
It Comes at Night is not going to make the money.
No.
But that's a movie that I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. Because it plays with those ideas. It teases your subconscious, whereas this film... it just gives you it, But it does tease you through here and there, and the atmosphere is fun, but, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it just really just jumps into, like, trope mode and starts hitting all cylinders in that front.
Well, I'd say, is that a pretty good summary for you today, John? Do do you want to give a grade then for Annabelle Creation?
Annabelle Creation, I give Annabelle Creation a C.
Yeah, it's definitely much better than the first Annabelle film, even though I haven't even seen it. Obviously, critics are liking it a lot more, and I think that audiences in general, I know a lot of the people who I left the theater with, they did enjoy it. And like I was saying earlier about The Conjuring, like James Wan horror, and like Insidious and stuff like that, it really is kind of more for the mainstream audiences, more of the blockbuster horror. We have all of our A24 and our Blumhouse stuff that, we all, that I think, maybe some more of the, like I said, a little more of the pensive type horror movies and cerebral type horror movies. We have a lot of that stuff from this last year. So I think that you have to have some of that, the jump scares that people do want. But for me, personally, it wasn't a very satisfying film, very underwritten, and like we said, and as I said, John's words were perfect for that, serviceable and safe. It really just shoots down the middle of the road, and two mixed results. There was a few things that I liked, but overall, though, I'm going to give Annabelle Creation a D+.
Now, touching on that, too, something that falls between the lines of what we're talking about is the film It that's coming out. And I could, you know what I mean? Because you got the A24, you got the Blumhouse, you got the Independent, but then you also have like the more blockbuster. This is kind of in that middle of the road. It's like it feels independent, but it looks like it's going to be a fun ride. So
yeah, I'm
looking forward to it. Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to it. It's what I'm so excited about is that it's a movie that actually needed to be remade.
Oh yeah,
they're actually doing the right thing, I think, by giving another pass at this. And I don't find that Tim Curry is completely untouchable. That we can't do Pennywise again, but. Anyway, we will definitely be reviewing it later on when that comes out. Hope you guys love horror, because of course we do here at Back to the Feature, and we are always going to be telling you guys about a lot of the horror movies that come out. So you can find out about other horror movies here on our channel at Twitter at Back2Feature. You can also find us on Facebook at /Back2Feature. I've been Giovanni Carlo.
And I'm John Madalou.
And we'll see you guys next time.